Yeah, hey guys, Mysterious JG here. So, I wasn't planning on recording. I was trying to enjoy a little, I'm gonna off screen, just ride around on my horse, maybe try to hunt. Um, a little, I, I hate to call it a criticism, it really only impacts you if you are a Let's Player who wants to play a game you are Let's Playing and not record it. Like Final Fantasy 12, the Zodiac Age. I had plenty of time where I was just grinding off screen and watching riff tracks or something. This game really doesn't allow for it. I've spent some time off screen just trying to hunt stuff so that I could take it back to camp and sell the hides. And I played a round of poker again, and this time there was actually a full table with 4 other players, and I actually cleared the table. Stuff like that. Excuse me. But I keep getting interrupted by random encounters, and like there was one where a guy was being attacked by a cougar. I kept seeing captions that said in Spanish, and then it was like, oh no, I'm in trouble, and these damn cougars, oh no. And I tried to ignore it, and then the cougar killed me. There was another one where some guy rode up to me and challenged me to a race, but my horse was laden with a bear hide because I had killed a bear. I figure I can kill a bear off screen, and it's not a big deal because I can always do that again on screen. But then this guy, I declined his race, and he called me a coward and rode off. And I looked online, and I couldn't see anything again about whether he would show up, and blah, blah, blah. So now I've encountered a guy, and you've already missed a little bit of dialogue, where he's like, I need your help, mister, help me, please. And I ride up to him, and he says, I'm in chains, but if you can get me out of these, I at least stand a chance. And then I noticed that he seems to look a lot like Trevor from Grand Theft Auto 5, and it's probably some kind of fun reference. So now I'm just going to finish this thing, and then tack it on to another video because I really didn't intend to record right now. So let's just do this little thing with this guy who looks like Trevor, and then I'll tack it on to another video.
Just shoot the chains off, please. I'm done for otherwise.
So how'd you end up like this?
I'm trying.
Just shoot the damn chains already, come on!
So,
Hey, whoa, wait a minute now. Just focus on the shackles. That's all, please.
I'm trying to, I can't see.
Come on, do it! Oh, yes. Yes. Perfect. Ah, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I got no money to give you, but I think I might got something even better.
Okay.
Some of those fellows talked about this old crone up north of Strawberry. Got herself a tidy sum locked away. Maybe just stories, but they were sure excited.
Oh, yeah? Why'd I be interested in that, huh?
I'm just a good fella.
I don't know, just a hunch. It's up to you, friend.
There you go. So he looked to me a lot like Trevor Murdoch. Is it Trevor Murdoch? Trevor Murdoch Industries? I know it's Trevor. He looked a lot like Trevor from Grand Theft Auto 5, so it seemed like it was like a little fun reference. But that's it. So I'm going to go back to not recording right now until another random encounter shows up, in which case I'll probably record it too, and then either make a whole video out of it, or I'll switch over to something else where I can actually have a day of just goofing around, not missing content that my Let's Play should include, and being able to watch riff tracks or whatever. See you later. Alright folks, so we're back, and it's Red Dead Redemption 2. I gotta cobble this together with me saving Trevor. It's not Trevor. Is it Trevor Murdoch? It's Trevor. Trevor Martin. Yeah, we're cobbling this together with that. Now, I am going to record just a few videos here to set up any more off-screening, because I think I've realized that there's a whole bunch of stuff that's locked that I need to progress the plot further to make things worthwhile. I did eventually, after wasting a lot of time hunting smaller animals that kind of probably didn't matter, unlock Master Hunter 1. I finally tracked down deer. I'd been working on that. I kept finding other stuff. At one point, I was bit by a snake, so it gave me a little mini tutorial on how to, you can go to at the campfire. You can use herbs to make an antidote. And on my way to the campfire to do that, because it seems like it was, they put a copperhead snake right next to a plant that is the plant that you use to make antidote. So it seems like it was kind of laid out that way intentionally. Like I stumbled across a snake encounter that is there to teach you about snakes. But then on my way to the camp with the snake, which I killed and then threw on my horse, like in that deer hunting mission where we threw a deer carcass on our horse. By the time I got to camp, I got a message saying the poison had worn off, so I guess it's not that big of a deal. There's probably much more dangerous poisons in game. But I eventually managed to skin 3 deer. But I think I need to progress the plot because I think I already mentioned in my couple of minutes of Trevor Salinas that I went back in off-screen action and was challenged to a horse race, which I declined, and hopefully that's not a one-time encounter. I was attacked by a bear. I was attacked by some wolves. So every time I was at one point I was trying to ride back to where we started the game, because even though this is marked as deer zone, I kept encountering things like, I want to say it was an antelope I encountered, something that I thought was a deer, and then I thought it was a really big deer, and then it was like, no, I got credit for some other kind of kill. So I was going to ride all the way back here, but as far as I got was, and at one point I also was just started riding on the rail, using my horse to ride around the railroad tracks just to explore. And the farthest I got before something happened that caused me to need to go back to camp was, I think that was where I encountered the bear, actually. Was right around Wallace Station. And I've seen Riggs Station. Again, there's no plot stuff. It's just a building that I went to. And Lone Mule something. But I believe this is where we had our poker game. Although now it's I don't know if I cleared it out. I played poker, and poker was no longer available there for a while because I cleaned out everybody who was at the table. So hopefully it will respawn. But then I started kind of riding around on the rails here. And by riding the rails, I mean my horse. I was riding my horse and following the path of the railroad tracks. But eventually, I would try to go on excursions. Something would happen. If you find an animal, you have to return to camp with the animal. It's not like in the previous game where you have an infinite carrying capacity and everything just goes into this floating inventory. You can only carry so much at a time. So every time I started to do something, I got distracted and pulled back to camp. So I didn't really do all that much. But I finally got the three deers hunted, and next thing is to get perfect pelts, and I haven't really figured out how to do that, and I think there'll probably be a tutorial teaching you about that. I did read online, you use the wrong weapon, you shoot the animal in the wrong body part, you don't get a high quality pelt. Oh, I forgot, I've got an animal skin I got to deal with here. But I figured I would actually progress the plot a little bit. Oh, the other thing that happened is, so we got these two guys who are arguing with each other. There's all this background chatter that if I'm not recording, your guys are going to miss some of it. And Uncle sat around the campfire with some unnamed NPCs, or possibly named NPCs that I didn't notice were named, and told a story about how when he was a boy, his uncle, and he was joking, when I was a boy, before they called me uncle, I guess they called me nephew. But he basically told a story about how his uncle was like a child molester. And he had never been molested by his uncle, but he knew, he was using all this oldie-timey, he was one of them peddlers you wouldn't leave with the kids, because he might get up to no kinds of good, all sorts of bad doings with the little boy. And so he's, basically telling a story about his uncle's a child molester, and there was some kid that uncle, didn't like, and Uncle's uncle kept wanting him to go on a fishing trip, and Uncle, a.k.a. nephew at that point, kept declining because he didn't want to get molested. So there was some kid he didn't like, so he told this kid to go with his uncle on a hunting trip, because he figured they deserved each other. And this kid that he didn't like stabbed his child molester uncle in the penis. And that was just like, and then he told it like it was this wonderful, hilarious story. And like, I swear every word of it's true. Like, it's this lovely, lovely story fit for family consumption of child molester and genital mutilations. I mean, I know when I want to, when I'm,
Good to be out of that goddamn snow.
I would agree with that.
We're gonna be good. We are gonna be great. Faith, my son. Faith.
Oh, well, that reminds me of something else I found while wandering around. I don't know where I go in my menus to see it, but I was wandering around near the camp, but not in the camp, and came across Dutch's speech notes. And it actually had the text of a speech Dutch has made in-game to pick up our spirits. Where the note said stuff like, now say something about freedom. I don't know, maybe that quote from Emerson. Blah, 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 blah. Now mention freedom again. So it's like clear that he's getting speeches ready in advance. Anyway, here's a good deer pelt that we found. And I keep donating these to the camp. I'm probably going to find out, if I advance the plot enough, I'm probably going to find out this is like not what I should be doing and I should be selling them in town or something. But what's his name? The butcher does seem to function as a shop. Like, he, depending on what item I give him, he occasionally gives me money, and it does not seem to come out of the camp fund, because I can monitor that number, because when I donate, I see it change. So I'm not 100% sure how these mechanics work. It's an open world game. I don't think I'm going to be I might have suboptimal. You see, we got like 184 and 136.
Good job, Arthur.
I got money, but it didn't take away from the camp's money. Okay.
Many thanks, Mr. Morgan.
Many thanks for your playing. So I'm pretty sure I'm doing. This might be suboptimal, but it's.
You're aware that you're covered in blood.
Yeah, I know. I actually haven't figured out what I'm supposed to do about that.
All right.
I mean, I went and I found my hat again through menus, but yeah, there's a lot of stuff in this game I'm not 100% sure that I'm doing it the right way. And I really don't know that chopping firewood is increasing my honor or camp spirit at a rate that makes it a good use of time. But there do seem to be other chores that pop up in camp. I think I did this once off screen. So now that I'm doing it again on screen, you have seen 2/3 of my total wood chopping.
You're a bloody mess.
I know. Excuse me. I guess I got to go to my tent and change clothes. I did get attacked twice by members of this other gang, and I figured that's just a repeatedly spawning event that is just going to happen, and I don't have to worry about not having showcased that. Once they attacked me as I was coming out of a rail bridge, which is interesting. But I just used Deadeye, killed them all, and looted their stuff. Oh, and at one point I got attacked by those McDougal whatever guys. Then this was kind of interesting.
Mr. Morgan.
Reverend?
What's up,
I
Rev?
just want to thank you for saving my life.
Saving my life
Liquor is
on
not my friend, Mr. Morgan. It
Oh, I
really
caught him the
isn't.
other day, and he just kind of said,
I make
I'm
such
not
a fool of
doing that
myself.
no more.
Don't worry about it.
You're a fine man.
Lying, on the other hand, that really is a sin.
Woohoo. Yeah, I'm playing him as a fairly upstanding guy, although I've, on more than one occasion now, accidentally murdered people because I think what I did is I hovered over unarmed in the menu, but didn't actually select it. So there's a flower. Somebody asked me about that, and I declined to answer. So I'm thinking that this will get explained as part of our backstory eventually. There's photograph. There's newspaper scrap. What I haven't figured out is change clothing. Here we go. So I've got the custom outfit. I got the gunslinger. I guess if I come out of this menu, will I now no longer be covered in blood? Okay, cool. I think that worked. I think I'm wearing the same. Unless I'm crazy, I'm wearing the same outfit. It's just now no longer covered in blood. And being covered in blood, I'm sure affects something. Oh, and I started to play dominoes and decided I didn't feel like it. So hopefully I didn't miss any super unique dialogue that we'll never get back there. Oh, and I was going to advance the plot, so I might as well. There's a couple of strangers who popped up on the map, although now they're gone. I think if I get... hopefully if I ride back down there, they'll appear again. Anytime I saw something when I was playing around off screen that looked like it was going to be something you guys would want to see, I tried to just back out of it without triggering it in the hopes that it would that I didn't lose it forever that way. So bounty hunting, I probably want to see if bounty hunting is something that's going to actually be I'll need to do on screen, because if bounty hunting is something that's just like one of those radiant quests in Fallout 4 where it just keeps popping over and over and over and you can do it as many times as you want, that might be a thing I can do off screen. Trying to find little off screen things that I can do is equivalent to Final Fantasy grinding, where I'm just like goofing around and playing the game and not really trying to come up with commentary. So the barber, the general store, I might want to just go spend a little money at the general store. But we have a Javier Escuela mission in town. And I think this mission we can do in the camp might open up more camp stuff. The other thing is when you're in camp, it has 3 meters, and I haven't quite figured out exactly what all of them are. Oh, there's other chores, it looks like. This little black hay bale. Pick up a hay bale. Move it to the feeding point. What is the feeding point? I would assume it's pretty close by, yes. Okay, so this is another chore I can do to please the camp, since no one else is doing any of this stuff. Here's another thing that looks like a pick up the bucket. Oh, can feed and water the horses. Top up water in the wash bin.
Hey, Arthur.
And Hosea keeps going, "Hey, Arthur!" Like, I've heard it a dozen times now, I'm sure, because he's trying to call me over there to do his mission. And I keep putting it off. But I think that is the one I'll do next. Just so he'll, if nothing else, he'll stop going, "Hey, Arthur."
Hi, Arthur.
"Hey, Abigail." "Hey, Pearson."
You're Arthur, right?
My name ain't no concern of yours.
But yeah, I
I'm
am.
hungry.
I don't give a damn.
Look, you seem like a decent feller behind it all.
Then you ain't a good judge of character.
Yeah, well, we'll leave it there then.
We've heard this one before. Okay. Alright, so here's where I top off the water anyway.
Can anybody spare me a bite?
Is that what I was supposed to do? I thought I was topping it off. I poured it out. Oh well. I'd actually like to help this guy out. It seems like a paragon.
Using to you?
Seems like a thing I could do to be all paragony, but
Hello.
I mean, just feeding him some stew.
Hey there.
Hey.
I know you like a good cup of coffee.
Nothing better.
Certainly not John.
Mr. Morgan,
Mr. Morgan, you saved my life, and I'm very grateful.
Don't mention it, Reverend.
I made
Sorry, is there any way we can leave this until later?
Okay, then. Not to worry.
Because we already had that exact same conversation.
Anyway, I'll leave you to it.
Okay.
I'll leave you to your coffee. Try to stay warm. Alrighty. I thought I saw another chore to do, but it might have just been more hay bale moving.
Hey, Arthur.
Hey, Arthur! Yeah, I think it is just more. I can pick up more hay bales. Hey, Arthur. Hey, Arthur. Hey, Arthur, what a man, what a man. He blows my hand. Hey, Arthur. I don't know what that meant. Apparently, I gotta find a more distant feeding point this time. The challenge of the hay mission increases. Now they put my Deadeye up to level 4. Why wouldn't moving hay bales make me a better gunfighter? It only stands to reason. Are you gonna say hey Arthur again? No? Okay. Ooh, I can pick up sack. Okay, he said hey Arthur. We're on the right track again, folks. It's entirely possible I'm gonna just get stuck doing chores. I intended to do some missions. That's why I started recording. But now I've found myself, I didn't mean for this to happen, but I found myself caught in like, oh, here's a bunch of chores I didn't notice I could do. I guess I'll do them. Youth is marching on. Glory, glory, we are bandits. We saw it briefly up there in the top right corner. There was the, you see that we have a certain level of, I know the one on the far right means food. So in my, over the course of my hunting, I've done enough for food. But then there's supplies and also whatever that plus indicates. That might simply be money.
Arthur! Oh, Arthur!
You smell.
Yeah, he does.
It's cologne.
I could smell it
It's
from
liquor.
here. And not even in
cologne.
this word.
From Cologne, Germany. Oh, I just had a few nips, Arthur. I'm not drunk. I'm just happy.
Happy drunk.
You know, you ought to try sometime.
Drinking?
Happiness.
I'm familiar with drinking.
Try happiness. Just a little, huh?
You know what? I'm going to steal that banjo and hit you over the head with it honky tonk man style. So picked up pocket watches and stuff from dudes that I killed, and I don't know if they count as yeah. See, this is the thing for tonic, so I don't know if I'm supposed to be contributing drugs. It doesn't seem to let me, but that might be because I haven't cleared a mission that I need to do first. Could donate $6 and get us up to 150 and see if that makes that red plus turn white, like donating the food eventually made that red drumstick shape turn white, or rather the background of it. Did I? Wait, what? I thought I was at 140. I'm doing my math wrong here. My wallet has 180 and the camp has 148. Unless I'm flipping those two numbers in my mind. That would mean if I donate $2 more, well, I'll donate 4. See, 148 and 180. Okay. Never mind, I did the math wrong in my head some kind of way. So we're now, the camp's got over $150. But, Still don't actually know what that's going to be good for, or whether donating money directly is actually eventually going to make that thing not be red anymore. And if I can even make it go to green. Hey, Arthur. I mean, Hosea. All right, there's like no time left in the video, but let's go ahead and just get started on this mission so I can say we did it. Oh, he wants to go hunting. Okay.
Hosea,
You want to go hunting?
what are you hunting? An elephant?
I wish. No. I saw a huge bear. One of the biggest I ever saw. I reckon nearly 1,000 pounds.
My God. What you
That's,
need me to kill?
that's the combined weight of the Big Show and
Let's go.
Kane.
Where are we heading exactly?
Up near the Dakota River. Might take a day or two.
I could do with a break from this place.
Oh, me too. It's been a rough couple of weeks. You need anything?
I don't think so. I got all I need.
Let's go then. So you
All right,
still
so I
ain't
guess I
replaced Photosia?
probably shouldn't have done all that
I
hunting
miss
off
her.
screen.
She was quite a horse. This one's okay, but ain't no boat to see.
I've been meaning to offload this big Shire horse for a while now. Unruly bastard.
Where'd you get him?
Some big, loudmouth bastard tried to rob me. Was out riding, so I... Well, you know how it is.
I see.
Let's take
murdered
him to
him, killed his
Valentine.
horse.
It's on the way, sorta. There's a decent dealer there. We'll unload him. You could buy yourself a new horse. Put your saddle on him. Let's get going.
So is this my...
Okay.
I'm getting rid of my
Well, I
horse?
do
I like
kinda
my horse.
like
I've been
this
building
one.
up
There's nothing wrong with
horsepower.
horses, and the stables always have the best ones.
Well, I guess you're right.
Oh, that's just sad.
Come on, Arthur.
You won't throw me?
No, he's an angel. If I'm near him.
Nasty little look in his eyes.
Oh, don't be rude about this magnificent creature.
Get this strapped on, boy.
Ooh, a strap on. What? Sorry. Sorry. That was not...
Okay, see if
Mm,
you
that
can
was weird.
leg over that brute.
You will bond to the horse the first
Don't
time
be
you saddle
scared
it.
of him.
I'll pat him first.
Yeah, good boy.
Oh, I wonder if this is the war horse that I got from the DLC.
Come on, boy.
It's certainly,
Easy, big feller.
he's a bigger horse than that other one.
Let's head into town. We're heading out. Might be gone a couple of days. They got a good range of horse tack at the Valentine stables. Some beautiful saddles. I used to have a real nice one.
Yeah, what happened to that?
Got stolen outside that saloon in Deer Creek.
Ah, I remember now. Just about. That turned into a long day.
Yes. Remember?
Yes.
Mac went crazy. Threatened to kill the whole town. And Davy was passed out so cold we left him there. Came back in the next day and he woke up, started right back drinking again.
Of course, he wet his pants. It's kind
I
of
miss
gross.
those boys.
Jenny, too. She had some spark, that girl.
It must be pretty hard on Lenny. You could tell he was sweet on her.
Well, Lenny and Jenny could never have worked.
They're kids,
That's
Kenny
like
and Benny.
Arthur and Martha, or Bill and Phil.
So he's going where I was.
Yeah, maybe you're right. Does feel a bit like our luck died with them, too.
Let's conspire against Dutch.
We'll be all right. Just need some money to get back on our feet.
Where's some feet to get back on our money?
You find a way to offload those Cornwall bonds yet?
Not yet. They're still very hot. Need to be done right. I have a couple of leads I'm looking into.
We're going to do it up proper.
Don't let that big bastard get the better of you there, Arthur.
He's all right.
L3 to call it, did they say? Alright, you know what? This seems like a good point to end the video. So yeah, one of the weird things in my off-screening was that every time I would ride around on my primary horse, every so often my secondary horse, because there still was a secondary horse, the one that I chased that guy down on in that story mission in town, it would occasionally just pop up and start following us, which wasn't necessarily good when attempting to hunt deer. Anyway, folks, I'm Mysterious JG. It looks like we have a new primary horse, although we're not getting rid of our initial horse, so maybe I now have a secondary horse and a tertiary horse. But I'm calling it now, and we'll catch you guys next time with more fun. Bye-bye.